One of the main components of the peace deal that was meant to end the war in Tigray in Ethiopia was a commitment to allowing much needed humanitarian aid to reach the millions of people who'd been bombed, starved, raped, and isolated by the 2-year-long conflict. 2 weeks since the signing, the Red Cross said it was relieved that a delivery of aid had reached Tigray. It would be the first delivery of food and medicines in months. Dr. Kibrom Gebreselassie is surgeon and chief executive director at Ayder Hospital in the Tigrayan capital. He told me that this consignment lacks the things they need the most.
There is nothing that is coming to Makala or to our hospital. Some food items have in fact gone down. They become cheaper compared to their previous costs. No one has approached us and no one has told us when the food and medicines are coming to Makala. But yesterday we heard, and I read it in the web, that the ICRC has brought 2 trucks into Makala. Today I tried to communicate with one of the ICRC workers. He told me that the much needed medications like insulin, dialysis materials, reagents, antibiotics, anti-pain, analgesia, anesthesia drugs, and so on are not included in the trucks. Already what they have brought is the gloves and some tubes that we use for drainage. So this is not going to solve our problem. Number one, it is very small amount. It is only 2 trucks. Second is the essential items that we are expecting to come in the first flight or first trucks are not included in this truck. So it is sad for us.
What are the things that you need the most and the most urgently?
Insulin for diabetic patients and dialysis for patients who need dialysis. And we need a lot of antibiotics. We need analgesia and anesthesia drugs to do operations. We need IV fluids to do operation again and to resuscitate patients. So these are the basic essential items that we need immediately.
How long will it take for these supplies to reach you? Should another consignment be on its way?
If this truck, in one day, it can reach Makala. If this flight, it takes 55 minutes to reach Makala. It is not that far. The problem is with the green light, the access.
And is there anybody that should be in touch with you to tell you what's going on, or somebody that should be in touch with you to find out what you need? And have they been speaking to you at all? Or is there any way that you can reach them to talk to you?
No, so far there is no communication with our hospital. Our hospital is located in Makala, but it belongs to the federal government. The budget as well as the medications should come from the federal government. So we were expected to be reached by the Federal Minister of Health if there is any promise to give us or any direction that we should follow or when to expect these essential medications. But so far we haven't received any email or any notification from Federal Minister of Health. So what we are doing is we are communicating with the ICRC in Addis. So we are asking them if they are allowed to bring the medications. It's not only donations. There are certain items that are purchased by some friends and family members, which is located in Addis, in the stores in Addis. So if the ICRC is allowed, they can transport it. They have promised that they will bring these medications, but still they haven't got the permission.
So they're waiting for permission from the government in Addis?
From the government of Ethiopia, yes.
Now, you said earlier that some things have got better. The fact that we can reach you, you say you have internet access, that I think has improved. What about other things like electricity? You were also saying
it hasn't improved. This internet is not, it is separate. The communication blackout in the whole Tigray is still intact. There is no communication, there is no banking service, there is no electricity. The grid is not yet connected with the Ethiopian grid. So the situation remains the same. This communication, this internet access that I am getting is totally different. It was there. We are not using the Ethiopian telecommunications services. This is a separate line.
Right.
So the situation remains the same.
You were
with
saying something
telecommunication as well.
about food. You're saying the market has stabilized.
Yeah, it was the market that I was speaking earlier. In the market, there are these smuggled items of pasta, macaroni, and some cereals which were smuggled through the Afar border, and their price was significantly high. But because of the speculation, because they have assumed that aid is coming, roads are being to be opened, they have reduced the cost.
Are you hopeful that peace is now returning to Tigray and that the peace will hold?
I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic about this peace process. The last 2 years have been a nightmare for us, and Tigray has become, like hell for its inhabitants, for Tigrayans. So we wish this peace process to hold.
That's the Chief Executive Director at Ayder Hospital in Tigray, Dr. Kibrom Gebreselassie.